Watching the last part of the reunion, I finally can conclude that Laura has been vindicated. Damn, and I just wish I knew exactly what was inside Laura's heart, because I feel strongly and I know so much that Laura has been vindicated. Everybody is fighting each other back and forth, bars goes like that, and I'm like, damn, now these ladies know that Laura wasn't the problem. Season 1 of Real Housewives of Lagos has finally come to an end after two parts of the reunion. It has finally come to an end with so much drama. I'm going to break it down for you. Now, for those of you who have heard Real Housewives of Lagos, but don't know what exactly that is, this is a reality show. It's a reality TV show. Now, it's a franchise, a UK franchise that has been adopted by several countries. So we have Real Housewives of Durban, we have Real Housewives of Dubai, we have Real Housewives of whatever. And finally, the franchise has been bought by Showmax, and there is Real Housewives of Lagos. So this is a reality show where people's actual lives are showcased. Now, this is the interesting part of it. It is not a movie. It is a reality show. So everything there is real, happened real time. So the characters, the actors in the quote unquote are real human beings. Like, that's their real names, that everything about them is real. They have to put their lives on the line for us. Let me put it that way. Their family, everybody around them has to realize that now it is not about us. It's like the whole world is now looking at our lives. So these families are put together, or these friends are put together to make up the reality show. And in the course of it, they are supposed to explore friendship, explore several other things, and most especially to bring out more glitz and glamour. That is basically what the Real Housewives of Lagos is, for those who don't know what it is. So everybody in there is actually using their real name. So there is Caroline, there is Chioma Goodhair, there is Yabo, there is Tiana Ntoyin, there is Mariam, and there is Laura EKG. So watch it and you'll be like, is this for real? Is this for real? Is this real time? Yes, everything in there is real time. So the drama, the emotions, the buzzwords, the insults, everything is real time. And that is why I personally think a lot of them crossed the line. Caroline especially crossed the line. Like, I was beginning to love Caroline. I was beginning to like her everything, but she crosses the line knowing very well that this is reality show, this is real. You cross the line when you say on camera that somebody has been pimped to a governor. And I feel hurt for Laura, because this doesn't make sense. You know very well that this person has a family, and that person's family has a family who is watching, and this is going to go viral. You say it on TV, say it on camera, and you are proud about it. You are asked several times and you are still holding on to it. I just wanted at one point that Caroline would say that, no, let me take it back. Let me just take it as an assumption. Then she would have gained back my respect. But Caroline lost my respect, and after that, everybody that came at her, I was like, give it to her, she deserves it. Give it to her, she deserves it. Not that I'm promoting violence, but I just felt that this is a girl that doesn't think about people's emotions, so her shouldn't even be considered at all in the first place. Regardless, I still love her, but I don't like the fact that she crossed the line, and that I hate. You keep saying that if you come after my family, I'll come after you. And you go after somebody's life, go at knowing very well that you're attacking her family indirectly. That is where you cross the line for me. I'll introduce you to the characters. We have, first off, I'll start with Laura. Laura happens to be the sister of Linda Ikeji. The name sounds familiar, right? Yes, the Linda Ikeji blog. That is the sister of Laura. She happened to put her whole life, and funny enough, before she came onto the platform. Her sister, who happens to be a blogger, has had a lot of buzz with people because she writes a lot about celebrities, and people have had their own problems with her. And Laura, one way or the other, has to cover up for her or take a lot of the blame for it. And she would always protect her family as she loves so much. So Laura came in with a lot of drama. A lot of them had issues with her from the beginning. But come on, my girl never chopped last. She got vindicated right on point. I mean, now Laura is the queen, and now she's looking back at everybody taking their own cup and drinking it, and she's like, I told you. Then there is Iyabo. Iyabo is another interesting character. She is the all calm, mother-like, big sister-like, oh, let's come together kind of character. She's an actress in real life. She's a TikToker, and she's an influencer in real life. Iyabo is the character that will not bring drama, but if you bring drama, she will not spare you because she's a real Yoruba girl. Yes. And yes, before that, Laura is also an influencer. And there is Chioma Goodhair. Chioma is the fashion queen. So she believes that you are dressed the way you are dressed. She feels that there is value for how you dress, so she always goes all out. The queen of lateness. She's always late. I mean, no mincing words about it. She's always late. And yes, that's Chioma. She's CEO of Goodhair. Yes, Brass and Copper, and yes. And then there is the star maker. Toyin or Tiana. Yeah, Tiana happened to celebrate her 40th birthday in the show, and she had a lot of opportunities because personally I feel that she was able to showcase more, having to open her daughter's business for her. And yes, it was more like an advertisement for her daughter, and I think that is great. So yes, Tiana is a fashion goddess. She makes stars, as she always says. She is a fashion designer, a stylist. Yeah, let me put it that way. And the CEO of so many businesses I can't even mention. She holds family dear. In real life, she's married. She's been married and divorced several times. Has babies with several other fathers, but she's not proud of. But I'm happy she was able to walk out of those relationships, because hearing her story, I don't think any woman deserves to go through what she went through. And then there is Mariam. Oh my God. Mariam is a little bit of me, all bubbly, all happy, always on the go. She doesn't care about you, but if you really come at her, she will go after you. If you go after her family, she will come after you. That is Mariam for you. She's all bubbly, all happy, always girly, always giving her all. That is Mariam for you. And she happens to be an entertainer, a YouTube, an influencer. I just found out she's a YouTuber. She has a growing YouTube channel, and yes, that is doing quite well. But yes, that is Mariam for you. And there is almighty Caroline. Oh my God, I love Caroline right from the start. I didn't like her dressing because she liked exposing a lot of boobs and thigh and skin, but I respect that. But I just loved her character. She seemed like easygoing. I loved her calmness, but she crossed the line several times for me. And at some point, I felt like everybody is saying the same thing. You know when they say that there is truth in every rumor? Laura started it, and Laura made me believe that she's a queen of lies, because Laura said really that this girl can lie in confidence. And everybody, it looks like everybody is saying you can lie. Everybody is saying you can lie. Chioma is saying you can lie. Toyin is saying you can lie. Laura is saying you can lie. Only you, everybody is saying you can lie. You can lie. You can lie. I mean, if everybody's saying you can lie, then there's a little bit of truth in what they're saying. There are times where you have crossed the line, you have probably even spoken the truth, but people would not believe you. And I'm glad for what she mentioned, that she learned that salt can be sugar sometimes, or salt looks like sugar, because there are times where we find ourselves in certain situations that, trust me, if you had killed it from the beginning, if you had solved it from the beginning, it wouldn't have escalated. This whole issue with everybody, Caroline having issue with this, Caroline having issue with Iyabo, Caroline having issues with Toyin, issues with Mariam, she has issues with everybody, is right from having issues with Laura. And trust me, you can't mess up with my girl with go scot-free. I mean, or more. You can't mess up with Laura and go scot-free. You mess up with Laura, and then God of Laura vindicates her. And now you have issues with everybody. And I feel if Caroline had maturely taken the bull by its horn, and she had found the fault right from the beginning, oh, your sister wrote this about me, I see Laura, we squash the issue, we heal it there, and she doesn't go saying things to Chioma, and Chioma, I have a problem with her. Why would Chioma do that in the reunion? I listened to it and I was like, Chioma, you don't try. Chioma, yourself, you said in the beginning, in the first season, that you told Caroline in confidence that if God forbid tomorrow I have issues with you, there is no way I would spill your secret.
I mean, even if, God forbid, we turn enemies tomorrow, your secrets are safe with me, and they'll always be that way.
And then, Chioma, I see you doing opposite of what you say. And then I'm like, almost, this one doesn't match. This one doesn't match. Because one point you're saying, oh, if I have issues with you, I'll not spill your secret. And then you have issues with them at another point, and then you're spilling all the secrets. You have issues with Toyin, you are spilling all the things Toyin had told you. You have issues with Iyabo, you are spilling all the issues. You have issues with Caroline, you are spilling all the things Caroline tell you. And I'm like, weren't you the one that just said, if I have issues with you, I'm not going to spill? And I'm like, my girl, please own up to the things you say for once. The reunion was great, but I just felt a lot of issues weren't squashed properly. Caroline still has a lot of things she needs to heal from. And I won't be surprised if she doesn't show up in the season 2, because she clearly stated that she's done with her friendship with Chioma. She's done with the show. At one point she wanted to opt out. And if you are saying that, I mean, there's no way she'll feel like, because even if they squash their issues, they're able to bring her, and then Chioma, I don't think this thing will work. So I just have a feeling in the season 2, Caroline is not coming. If there's anybody that is not coming, Caroline is not coming. Laura is somebody I must see in the season 2. If I don't see Laura in the season 2, oh, I might show up in Nigeria, or show must will hear from me, because I need to see Laura in the season 2. I loved all the characters. They were amazing. I won't call them characters. I loved all the wives, because this is real life. So I love all the wives. But I just feel one big lesson all of them needed to learn, listening to or watching the reunion, both parts 1 and 2, I just felt like these people need to understand that we are humans. You can step on my toes, I can step on your toes. Almost the fact that I step on your toe doesn't mean that we are enemies. The fact that I hurt you doesn't mean that we are enemies. We squash it, we end it. That is one policy about me. I have issues with you, I kill it, that is it. If we are not cool, we are not cool. I'll make you know that we are not cool. But that doesn't mean that if there is reason for me to talk to you, I wouldn't. These girls needed to have seen from the right get-go that we are humans. I would have issues with you. You are humans. You will not do exactly the things I do. The fact that you act a certain way, that is the reason why I had issues with the girls from the beginning. Having issues with Laura, it doesn't make sense, because this is a person that she tells you that, oh, it's getting late, I have to go and look after you. Like, I the only one that has family? No, some people value certain things over some things. The fact that she has been brought and added to the wives doesn't mean that she doesn't have her own responsibilities. Her life should stop. Never. And trust me, some of us take time before we join a certain clique. If Laura feels that, oh, if right from the beginning you are not all welcoming, then let me draw back. She draws back, people have issues with her. What do you want her to do? She doesn't like a certain thing. She doesn't like it. Don't force it. Don't push her to do it. And that is what people didn't get. The fact that everybody is laughing doesn't mean that me too, I should laugh. I am not a robot to do as you do. Laura was being so real. People weren't seeing. And that is the problem I had with them having issues with her. Laura was being herself. She didn't need to fake. She didn't need to act all nice. She didn't need to act all happy when she wasn't. If she's not happy, she voices it. She's not happy. She wants to go home. Oh, I want to go home. That is it. But I don't see why people had issues with it. And I'm like, what is wrong with you people? Get to understand that, if we understand the fact that we can't all be the same, we would get to understand ourselves better. We can all not be the same. No human beings can be the same. Somebody at one point will want to coil back. If a person coils back, doesn't mean the person hates you. If the person calls back and the person is being harsh, makes a lot of sense. But if the person calls back, is all quiet, that person is going through a certain period. Let that person go through that period. It will pass. If it passes and you also decide that, okay, I don't want to talk to you, that's fine. Doesn't mean that you should see the person as an enemy. Doesn't mean that you people should gang up and say the person is trying to be, which I don't want to mention the name. And I'm like, what is wrong with you girls? Understand that, okay, if she decides that, okay, you've called back, okay, now you are coming back, I don't want to be a part of you, then you also draw back. Makes a lot of sense. But I didn't understand the backbiting. This one talks to this one about Laura, this one talks to this one about Laura, this one talks to me. It was becoming too much. Everybody was talking about Laura. I was like, let her be. If she decides to come back and you don't want to be friends with her, that is fine. But don't be talking behind her. Don't be saying things behind her. I'm like, this is so childish. Watching the reunion, the part 2, I'm emphasizing on the part 2 because that is where most of my judgment is based on, considering the fact that we've said a lot about the earlier seasons. I felt Toyin at some point went overboard. Toyin is somebody that had gained so much of my respect, and I just felt she's going overboard. There were some things she was doing that were just not necessary, and she sealed it all when she said, Mariam, shut up. And I was like, you have no right to tell her, Mariam, shut up. There's a Mariam, shut up, that you can say that she'll be like, oh, it's friendly. And I like the way Mariam took it. She started smiling, which warmed it. When she said, I won't shut up, trust me, if she hadn't smiled, the whole thing would have been nasty. Because when she said, I won't shut up, Toyin wasn't smiling. Toyin was straight-faced. And then she came with a smile and she warmed it and everything got squashed. You can't tell me to shut up when I am saying my feelings. Mariam was somebody that never hardly said how she felt. So if she says how she feels, that means she's really being real about. So the fact that you're my friend and then we're talking, I'm saying something that really hurts me, and you're like, Mariam, shut up. There's a certain shut up. Or more shut up. That one, cool. But you mentioned my name, you're like, Mariam, shut up. It doesn't make sense. Okay, it feels too harsh. And then I just feel Toyin was being insecure. She started this whole, I don't know what happened behind cameras. And if whatever I'm saying, yes, I'm subject to being corrected. But Toyin was being a lot insecure. If you decide that, okay, somebody is always late. You've talked about it a couple of times. I don't know why you want to say that she wants to make a grand entry. The fact that I'm late doesn't mean that I want to make a grand entry. The fact that I'm late means a lot of things and could be anything apart from me wanting to make a grand entry. I could be on time and still make a grand entry. What if I'm on time and I decide to go to the bathhouse and then wait till everybody is seated and I make a grand entry? What about that? You know, I just felt it was so insecure. And then you come and you're like, you can't outshine me. You can't, I make stars. I'm a star maker. She said all that. And then Chioma also said some things that were not right, but I just felt she shouldn't have brought that at the paint in the first place, because you are the queen of fashion. We love you for that. Don't bring something. Some things are above you. Like, you are above some things. I just felt she made it look like she was being insecure, trying to make this whole thing look like a competition. She kept emphasizing on, you know, when somebody emphasizing on me, I'm not like this, I'm not like this, when that means the person is actually like that. You keep emphasizing that it's not a competition, so that means you feel it's a competition in your head, at the back of your head. That was so insecure, and she kept repeating it, and that was what triggered her when Chioma said it again. And then she got up and she went to fight, and now she wants to be physical. Toyin, you've never been physical. That means that you have seen this as a competition, and you just, if you think the girl is being annoying, just ignore her. That looks a bit mature than going all hard and physical and all that. I didn't like that part of Toyin. Apart from that, I loved her. Chioma went overboard when she said Yoruba is bullshit. Like, Chioma, you don't feel say that. Yoruba is a language, and I mean, if all the Yorubas are supposed to come at you, you can't stand it. You are Igbo, doesn't mean that somebody's language is this. I heard it and I was like, my dear, this is too harsh. This is a cultural attack, and I just felt Chioma shouldn't have crossed that line. She crossed the line, and that wasn't the best. I've talked about Chioma being a snitch. You say at one point that, oh, if I have issues with you, I won't come back to talk about it and reveal your secret, but you go about it and say it to people. And then I just feel Chioma is two-faced at some point, because there are sometimes she says things that clearly you realize that this girl is not making any meaning. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get you. When she was talking about the issue she had with Caroline, and the fact that she said something and Caroline snitched her and stuff like that, I was like, all that you're saying, all the explanation you're giving, it doesn't fall into place for me. But well, I just felt Chioma was two-faced. If she wants to be your friend, then she will go behind somebody and be pushing the person, but still coming close to you as though she wants to be your friend. You know, that kind of thing. Like, I want to hit you, but I don't want to hit you directly. I want to do it with behind somebody. That's what she did a lot of times to Laura. She wants to go hard at Laura, but I felt she would be doing it behind Caroline. She won't do it directly, but she'll be happy that Caroline is doing it. And then she keeps saying she wasn't fueling Caroline in the car, but I just felt like, yeah, why didn't she post? Not that she didn't want to give Caroline attention. She didn't want to give Laura attention. She wanted Pan, but she didn't want it to be like, okay, I'm using my face for it. If you didn't want to give her attention, why then were you happy and clapping your hands and being like, go girl, I'm clapping for you, Caroline. You're doing well for all the things you're giving to her. And I'm like, Oma, if you don't, I want to get into it. Just shut up and be there. Ignore. Let Caroline fight and then forget it. In all, I I love this first season. It was fire. Like, I love drama. I love seeing these things. But a lot of times I just felt the girl should have acted, the wives should have acted maturely. So maturely. These are people in their 30s, almost 40s. And they needed to have done a lot better. A lot better. Regardless, my favorite of all times, my realest of all times character was Laura. Laura was great. Laura was just natural. She was her. She was being real. And yes, I'm glad she was vindicated. My next favorite was Iyabo. Oh my God. I love him. I love the Iyabo. Oh no. I love the Iyabo. I love the Iyabo to tears. I love Iyabo. Aside that, I loved all the wives, and yes, I'm hoping to see them in season 2 for more glitz and glamour. So I'm already giving my expectations for season 2. Caroline might not be coming. But good riddance to bad Robin. Sorry. Whatever. So we're hoping to see all of you in the season 2 of Real Housewives of Lagos. The name still remains Mami Abnapukia. Kindly hit the subscribe button. Tell me what you loved in the Real Housewives of Lagos. What was the peak for you? What was the climax for you? Who were your favorite characters? Tell me everything. Let's get interactive in the comment section. The name still remains Mami Abnapukia. I hope these wives squash their differences behind camera. They become friends, especially Caroline and Chioma. They were a very good team. And get things going. Love you, screw.